What is a smart contract? Let's find out. Welcome to the School of Blockchain. My name is Magnus Detmar and I will teach you what is blockchain, how to use it, how to benefit from it, and of course I'll bring you the latest news. Today is Wednesday. What that means is that every Wednesday I will tell you about one technicality within the blockchain field. Before I've talked about what is proof of work and proof of stake. I've also told you about the difference between what is a token and what is a coin. And today I'll tell you about what is a smart contract. Ooh, I'm excited. So the first basic idea for you to understand a smart contract is that don't try to make it very difficult. A contract is a contract, that's what it means. What we're trying to make here is a contract that's digital. So how do you do that? Well, everything else in the digital world except for blockchain and cryptocurrencies you can copy, right? You can take one and you can make another copy, and usually you can change it as well. However, with a smart contract, the idea is that when you implement the contract, no one can change it. What's in there, it's in there. Whoever signs off has signed off. You can't change that. That's the basic idea of a smart contract. So in order for you to understand what is a smart contract is that you have to understand the if this then that logic. And what that means is that if you take A, put it into a smart contract, then B pops out. If you put in C to the smart contract, then D pops out. If you put in one input, then another output pops out. And what that means is that if you put in one input, then one output comes out. If you put in the other input, then another output comes out. That's a basic logic of a smart contract. If you have seen my videos before, you probably know that I like real-life examples. So today is not an exception. Today I will bring up two real-life examples for you to understand how a smart contract works. So the first example I wanted to tell you about is the vending machine example. You probably have seen it before if you have searched on YouTube about smart contract, but I wanted to describe it because it's a very good way to describe how a smart contract works. So imagine a vending machine, and the vending machine, you know how it works. You put in money and you get something out of it, like a chocolate bar or a Coke or a bag of chips or some cookies. Everybody knows how a vending machine works. However, imagine vending machines where everybody in a network get a manual of how that machine works. So for example, if I want to buy a Diet Coke, then actually everybody in the community or everybody in the networks knows that if I put in $1, I will get one Diet Coke. So no one can change the actual variables that's put in the vending machine, because everybody knows that if you put in $1 within the vending machine, then you will get a Diet Coke. So then when you go to the vending machine, you press the Diet Coke button and you actually put in $1, and when you put in $1 you actually get the Diet Coke. That's the absolutely basic of a smart contract. Then for example, if you are trying to get a chocolate bar that costs $2, then you put in $2 and a chocolate bar comes out. If the machine tried to trick you and give you a Diet Coke instead, then everybody in the network say like, that is wrong, because in this manual it actually says that if you put in $2 you will get a chocolate bar, not a Diet Coke. And what that creates is that people in the networks actually have control over the vending machine. So if it doesn't pop out a chocolate bar, then we know that something is wrong, and then we will get the money back. In the vending machine, yeah, I understand it's kind of difficult because you put in money, they can just keep it. But in a smart contract, everything that is programmed within the smart contract is law. So if you put in some type of money or some type of cryptocurrency within the smart contract and the other part doesn't actually deliver, then you automatically will get the money back, because the smart contract is executed that if the other part doesn't deliver, then the first part will get their money back. So what this means is that the rules and the penalties are not only predefined within the smart contract, it's also enforced by them. So whatever in the smart contract, that will be executed. The other example that I wanted to bring up today is the Kickstarter example. You probably have heard about Kickstarter, but if you haven't, Kickstarter is a website where a company that needs funding for their project, let's for example say that they want to build a new awesome camera, they can go out on Kickstarter and say, hey, we're building this camera, but we need money to actually make it work. Can someone please send us money? Then a lot of people go in there and say, hey, I like that project. They send over some money. Kickstarter give it to the project whenever a certain amount is fulfilled, and when certain amount is fulfilled, they actually give the money to the project. However, what this is built on is trust for Kickstarter. If you didn't know about who is Kickstarter, or if they are totally new that no one has heard about them, how can you trust that they won't just take the money and just run away to the bank or run away to another country? They can just steal the money from you and then continue to the next. So what you can do with a smart contract is that you can create a trustless contract where you don't need a middleman. You write in the smart contract and say, okay, if we get this amount of funding, then we will create this website or create this product or create this new type of service. And everybody that wants to be part of this can actually send money. So what they send money to is a smart contract. Within that smart contract, they see that, okay, if these parameters haven't been fulfilled, they will send it back within a certain period of time. But if they actually fulfill the amount that they are looking for, then the people that actually creating this project will actually get the money. So this smart contract is like a middleman, and what it creates is a trustless, immutable system where no one can actually go in and change the rules within the smart contract. And I know what you're asking yourself, but they can just go in and change this contract, right? And then whenever they feel that, oh, we got enough money, they just take it and run away. No, they can't, because this system is immutable and distributed. What happens with this smart contract is that these are put on the blockchain. So this contract, everybody can see is within the network. So when you have put that smart contract on the platform or on the blockchain, everybody goes in and approves that contract and say, okay, this is how the contract is written. So in this way, if someone tried to change the contract from the beginning, then everybody in the network say, no, you can't do those changes because we approved this type of contract, we didn't approve the new type of contract, and in that way this is immutable and this contract is also distributed. That's the absolute beauty of a smart contract and also the beauty of blockchain. So those are the real life examples that I wanted to bring up. Now let's get into detail. So what you're probably asking yourself, well, what's the difference between a normal contract and a smart contract? Well, in a normal contract, we outline the terms of relationship between party A and party B. However, with a smart contract, it enforces the relationship between cryptographic code. In other words, a smart contract is executed in the way that they are programmed to be, or as they are determined to be. So there are basically three things that has to be in each and every smart contract. The first one is the signing parties, and what that means is that there are two or more parties that actually go in and sign off the contract. And what that means is that they are agreeing or disagreeing by signing off the contract digitally. The second thing is the subject of agreement. This can only be objects that actually exist in the smart contract environment. What this means is that these smart contracts should actually have access to the object that they are defining on. So if, for example, you will get a fund from signing a contract, then the smart contract should actually have access to the funds. So if all the parameters within the contract are fulfilled, then the contract will actually send over the money to the person that actually should get the money. Then the third thing that has to be in the smart contract is the specific terms. So not to make this too difficult is that in each smart contract, the terms that are within the smart contract actually have to be programmed and developed. So whenever someone is signing off or wherever someone is sending money to the contract, then they know exactly, okay, if I send this amount of money, I will get that in return. That are the terms that are programmed and safely stored in the smart contract. So why is it such a buzz, and why is it so popular right now with smart contract? It feels like everybody's talking about it. Well, first of all, it's a new thing. New things, blockchain, yeah, a lot of people get interested in it because they think that, and this will be the new next big thing. And I totally believe so. However, it's not only about that. What smart contract will create, or has created, is that they create a trustless signing off of contract. What that means is that you don't have to hire any third party, you don't have to hire an intermediate or a middleman that actually handle all the legal work. What happens is that whatever you put in the smart contract, that actually applies. So if you're putting in, if I put in $1,000, I will get this scooter, or if I put in $1 million, I will get this apartment. If you put in the $1 million, then you will get the apartment. That's how it's built, and you don't have to have another party that I actually have to build trust in. You and the party that you're negotiating with can just put the trust in the smart contract, and you don't need any middleman with a smart contract. Another thing is that it is distributed, and this makes it very, very safe. What that means is that, let's say if you and me have a contract, we sign off, both get one copy, and then when we're actually supposed to execute whatever is in that contract, you come back and say, no, I have this in my contract, and I say, yeah, I have this in my contract. Well, we both signed off one contract, who knows what's in it, right? It's really easy to fake and signing off contract these days, so how can a piece of paper actually be legally binding? That is what blockchain or smart contract has solved. What you do is that you put this on a digital platform and you put it up on a blockchain. What that means is that everybody in the networks approve that that actually has happened, and if we're trying to change it, or if one party tries to change it, then everybody in the network say, we have seen that you put that on, you can change it now. Another thing that smart contracts have actually done and will do in the future is create efficiency of signing contract. And what that means is that it's both cost saving and time saving. If you have worked in a professional industry, you know it's a big hassle to actually get a contract signed. You have to send it to the other party, they have to look through it, they will not agree on some things, you will get a copy, you send it out to 10 different people that's around the world. However, with the blockchain and with the smart contract, you can just put it up on the blockchain, everybody goes in, sign off, and that's it. You don't need to send the contract around, you don't need to send the physical contract around. Everybody can sign off in a very safe and efficient way. So this is one of the absolute most beneficial parts of having a smart contract. But smart contract must have some flaws, right? Yeah, that is absolutely true. Smart contract is a very, very young technology. This has just been around for some years, and for them to actually be as safe and secure as everybody says, it will take some time to actually build that technology to make it super safe and efficient in the way that we want them to be. What we have seen in the past is the DAO attack. You can probably Google that and you will know why it's such a big deal. What has happened is that some of these smart contracts have actually been hacked. Some of these smart contracts has actually been developed in a wrong way. So instead of improving the safety, they've actually decreased the safety of it. And what that means is that the programmers, they have to be so secure on what they're doing that they are not putting in wrong type of information within these contracts. And this is something that the whole industry is working on now. And some of the companies have actually developed a very, very good way to do these smart contracts where it's idiot proof. However, you can see the technology right now, 2018 September, is that we are in like Windows MS-DOS type of environment, and we are aiming now to getting into Windows XP. That's how I see the environment right now, and hopefully in the future we will see everybody's using smart contracts for all the different type of services, because you can save a lot of time and a lot of money by only using smart contracts, and then we can throw out all the middleman and be efficient and safe. And the class is soon over, but the last thing I wanted to mention is that Nick Szabo actually created this word or this expression called smart contract in 1997. So it's not that long time ago, it's like 20 years ago. So in order to this technology to actually be as useful as we want it to be, I think it will take some years, but I'm really excited to follow this journey with the smart contract and follow the development of the smart contract, because this is a revolutionary technology. However, that is it for today's class of School of Blockchain. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you want to know more about the blockchain or know more about this cool new industry, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. My name is Magnus Detmar, and I will see you in the next class of School of Blockchain. Take care.